He's my buddy, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN New York, 98.7 FM. To me, Stephen A., there's two unfixable problems. The psychology of the series, they'll be fine. But the Lakers have two unfixable problems. Ramon Sessions at point is getting work, and the Lakers bench isn't very good. To you, is there any way to alter those disadvantages against the Thunder?
Only one way, and it's not Kobe Bryant. It's Andrew Bynum. The Oklahoma City Thunder have absolutely, positively no answer for Andrew Bynum. They're just too small. They don't have enough girth. They don't have enough size. They can't deal with Andrew Bynum. The problem is that how much can you rely upon Andrew Bynum? If he's on his A game, the Lakers win. But you don't anticipate that he'll be on his A game 4 games in a 7-game series. And that is your problem. If you got Kobe, even if he's going ballistic, you have Kevin Durant. You have the combination of Kevin Durant and Westbrook. You bring anybody off their bench, you've got James Harden if you're Oklahoma City. That you don't have an answer for is Andrew Bynum.
How shocked were you at Kobe's poor play in the last 2 minutes?
I was shocked. It was very, very uncharacteristic of him. He just didn't look like he was on his game. I mean, he just looked a bit fatigued, in my opinion.
Yeah, he looked tired.
Didn't look focused. And you rarely see Kobe in that situation. Maybe that's the reason why Steve Blake ended up taking that last shot. Maybe that's the reason why Meta World Peace decided to give Steve Blake the ball, because he noticed how tired Kobe looked and how many shots that he was missing over the last 2 minutes. So it was quite alarming, but Kobe Bryant is the kind of competitor that I think will respond to such a performance in the way that a superstar is supposed to perform in there, because it's a very rare occurrence where you see him look that bad. But he did look bad in those last 2 minutes.
Stephen A. Smith via the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. All right, when you look at the Lakers last year, they're swept out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Before that, they struggled with New Orleans. Mm-hmm. They struggled with an average Denver team. If they get beaten 5, let's say they win game 3, but they lose back-to-back, is it time? To what degree do we blow the team up? What stays, what goes?
Well, first of all, my sources have told me that they would be willing to trade Andrew Bynum for Dwight Howard straight up, because they don't want to make a long-term investment in Bynum because they're scared, because Bynum, his temperament, his mentality, he's a bit too assertive.
Now, a year ago, that wasn't the case.
That wasn't the case, but it is now. It was a few months ago, and it may very well be now. Now, obviously, with Dwight Howard and his back, once that occurred, there was some trepidation about that. There still is, but it's because of his back. The biggest story about this is the fact that they don't trust Andrew Bynum's mentality, the fact that he could be a bit dismissive and a bit indifferent towards things. They're concerned about that, because if you're that way now, knowing that you got 80 to 90 million coming, what about once they cut the check for you? So that is a concern for them, and that's why that's a big problem. So, when you look at it from that perspective, that in and of itself is kind of blowing the team up to some degree. But I think the Lakers organization has to look in the mirror, because if you had kept Lamar Odom, if you had still acquired Ramon Sessions, if you had spent a few extra dollars and had been willing to keep Shannon Brown, would you be in this situation? If you had a way to spell Kobe a little bit, if you could go small, if you didn't just have to rely on Kobe, Bynum, and Gasol, you never know what kind of position you could be in. Because remember, even though Durant and Westbrook are stars, and Durant to me is a superstar, the reality is that nobody has shown that they are on the run that Dirk Nowitzki was on last year, which mightily contributed to Dallas's success. So who knows what the Lakers could have done this year if they kept their team intact for one more year.
Stephen A. Smith. Chris Bosh out. We're now seeing his value. I've always thought he's an underrated player. He does 7 or 8 things very well we never talk about. Defend the pick and roll, hit free throws late, super high IQ. LeBron's going to be asked to play 40, and he's going to be asked to defend players. Do you think, to what degree is Miami in trouble?
They're in trouble from the standpoint, first of all, they've got to win game 3. They've got to win, they have to win one of these games. They cannot lose both games in Indianapolis. They just can't. The sooner they win and steal a game in Indianapolis, the better. Because let's say, for example, you end the series, you leave Indiana 2-2.
You feel pretty
good. If you took game 4 off, then you'd be ready for game 5. See, if you lose game 3, because you're coming in there to win game 3. If you lose game 3, then that's going to heighten the pressure for game 4. And at the same time, you will have expended a significant more amount of energy. I look at LeBron James going up against the Indiana Pacers, and I'm scared in Miami in this sense. Indiana's incredibly physical. They're big. They're athletic. They will put you on your back. David West is a beast in terms of physically. He is just rough and rugged. Xavier McDaniel, Charles Oakley type, those guys. Yeah. He's just for the
They're going to beat LeBron up.
They're going to beat him, and LeBron is the one guy on the Miami Heat that can take that punishment. We don't know if Dwayne Wade can take it. We don't suspect Mario Chalmers, Shane Battier, Mike Miller can take it. We know no one on Miami's front line is even worth discussing as to whether or not they can deal with it. Pittman, Joel Anthony, Ronnie Turiaf, stop. We're just not gonna play with America's intelligence. No, I mean you can expect them to be physical, but not to that degree. So you've got a problem. And what I'm saying is LeBron, he's going to have to carry this, and that's going to be a tremendous challenge.
Tonight.
Win tonight.
Let LeBron peel back on game 4.
Not only do I think they win tonight, I think there's a level of urgency to winning tonight, and I still think this is the game they're going to lose. I hope I'm wrong. You understand, for my personal preferences, I just prefer to be in South Beach than Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Shoot me. But the point is that I cannot see. I think tonight is the night that Indiana wins their one game in Indy. I think it's game 3. I really, really do. And that's why I predicted from the beginning that this series will go minimal 6 games.
Stephen A., good seeing you.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Just got a couple of Twitter responses. To be able to run a 6:30 mile, I have to have a 1 minute, 37 second split. So I've got to do each. Now I know I'll run the first lap in a minute. Probably quicker than that. So I've got to run each. So now, Rob, will you be there telling me, yelling as I come around, all right, minute 38.
Yeah, once you get probably about 5 yards away, I'll start yelling out the time that's on the clock, like 1:30, 1:31, 1:32, 1:33.
Okay. So you will do that.
I will do that. And then on the second lap, I'll give you the splits. And then as you pass me, I'll also give you the half-mile time.
So you'll be like 1:36, 3:15.
37, correct. And then 3:15.
All right. Yep. You can do that sort of addition that quickly.
Yeah, well, it's going to be on my watch that I'm holding.
Okay. All right. 1:37 split. What did I get myself into? A 1:37. I got to do that 4 times. Yeah, I should start building up my endurance. I don't think those walks around the reservoir are doing anything with that. So that's 1 week from today, the Herd Mile Challenge.